Hi guys, welcome to new video. So today we'll take a look at the third replay, which is the second replay against Folsson. Once again, it's a 1v1 or Dark Side Forest, and it's also played on the 100% game speed. So let's check it out. I have no idea what awaits us, but it should be a nice game. I'm playing as Fallen, so finally we'll have also Fallen. We'll have already all 3 races in the first 3 replays, which is really nice. And let's see what my enemy is playing. As you can see, it's also Fallen. So this will be a Fallen mirror. Definitely nice. We didn't have a mirror yet. So as you can see, I'm going for quick deformer. So normal balance strategy, immediate harvester. While Folsson here is going basically for the same. We saw him in the first game going for, when I was playing against Beast, he went for economy strategy with instant Dark Fortress. I mean another expansion. And now he's going for the usual strategy. So we'll see how I will handle this. Once again, I'm not sure if we saw the races immediately, if we actually picked them, but I am pretty sure we both were random, and that's what I'm going to count with all of these replays. Yeah, so we didn't know about the enemy races, and that will of course require a little bit more scouting and pre-planning, because you cannot really prepare for the enemy strategy if you don't know what race he plays. So as you can see, it's basically the same on both sides. He has a little bit more wood now, which I'm not exactly sure why. He actually didn't go for a summoner, which is really interesting. Actually, I think he had a small gap here, but as you can see, he's going for 7 harvesters without making a second summoner, which is definitely interesting. It's not really common. As you can see, I definitely went for the summoner here. I'm going to build an incubator here. And this is not a strategy that I really play anymore. I usually go for nightmares, but here I actually went for high spitters, I think, which is something he will probably also do. It's definitely much more common, and more players use this, but I like to go for nightmares because you can kill basically all the normal strategies in 1v1 with that. Of course, you can get cheesed by really good players with some really insane, crazy strategies, but against this baseline you can just easily counter it. But you need to be quick enough, so it also has its weaknesses. But here we are both going for an incubator. As you can see, I'll have it a little bit sooner. I'm trying to maintain my production. Here, as you can see, the multitasking still not perfect at 100%, but quickly I went for the summoner and started spending my resources. Here I'm intentionally saving a little bit more because I want to go for high spitters, of course. So now when the incubator is finished, I will immediately queue them up here. While my enemy, as you can see, he doesn't have the incubator yet. Now he went for a summoner. So I will have population sooner, I will have high spitters sooner, and also as you can see, he has only 5 harvesters on gold. Yeah, I have actually 2. I'm making the 6th one now. So yeah, so we are just doing this small skirmish with high stingers. He actually has more of them, but now I have high spitters, so I will easily be able to defeat this. He's of course, actually he's not making them yet. This is interesting. He went for incubator and now he's building a soul trap instead of going for high spitters, which is really interesting. You would either expect high spitters or a wild cocoon, but now he's actually making them while still going for the soul trap as well. We have basically the same resources here. We are both trying to keep them as low as possible. I have a little bit more population because I didn't go for the soul trap and I rather invested it into more units. But now I have a much stronger army. If he doesn't go away, he will definitely lose some units here. He actually has them on hold position, so he was not even fighting me. He just got hit a little bit, even some poison on this high stinger. And now he also has 2 high spitters, but I have 4 of them, so now he will always be behind if I keep producing, which I'm trying to. Of course, I also went for faster reflexes here for some extra damage for both high spitters and high stingers. Here you can see I'm trying to push him back. I have 8 more population, so definitely I'm ready for this. I'll probably try to keep the high stingers behind my high spitters exactly like this, because he cannot get to me quickly enough. And I should be able to outshoot him like this because I have more of the high spitters. So I'll try to maybe kill one of the high stingers here. He almost died. Now I will maybe finish him. And he actually decided to fight here, which was definitely not too smart, because I have maybe even more hive stinkers, and I have one more hive spitter, which is really a ton of value from that. As you can see, I killed all the hive stingers immediately. Now I have much stronger army. He doesn't have a tower, and I'm in his town, which is definitely nice for me that I'm in his town and I can just harvest however I want, while I can harass him and maybe slow down his production. But the disadvantage of this is that he can just keep producing units right in the fight, while I need to go across the whole map, which definitely takes some time. So this is a small disadvantage. Here are basically like 3 options once again that I could make. I pushed him back, so now I have a map control. And one option is of course to go for an expansion, which I don't really like because it's really risky. If I mess up here and lose my units, he will probably push again and he would win. The second option is just to keep producing more units, just try to spam as much as I can. But the problem is that we have the same income. I don't have that much more units. Now I will maybe even lose a hive stinger here, sorry, hive spitter. And he's also going for a tower, so that would probably not really pay off. The last option is to go for stronger units, probably Avengers in this situation, so I would need to build a soul scrap. But as you can see, I didn't actually do that. I go for a hive, so I maybe want to try keep pushing here. But he's going for Vengeance Hall and Vile Cocoon, so he definitely wants to get some more advanced units and push me back. But I just keep harassing him, as you can see, and I go for a totally different strategy that I didn't really mention. But I'm trying to like transfer, let's say, from the balanced strategy to rush, but really different rush. I'm just playing still balanced strategy, but really offensively, really aggressively, and I'm just not letting him leave the town, leave his base, so that means he cannot expand anywhere. He doesn't know if I'm expanding, so he definitely needs to try something at least. He's fortunately not going for Chamber of the Avenger, which would be really bad for me, but he is going for Vile Cocoon. But as you can see, I'm bringing a Summoner here and building a Deformer, which will definitely be nice because now he's getting a free healing, and now I need to even up this advantage of his. So I will also go for the Deformer here, so I can get some Unholy Ground for healing of my units, and I can also build a towers here later, which will be definitely nice because that can also hit him. He also has a tower, so I really need to even up the advantages for both players here. I will even build more towers, even though he destroyed this, so I will need to build a second one somewhere here. It actually forced him out, which is really good. Now he's even shooting the tower, so I'm not taking damage on my units from the High Spitter here. And as you can see, I have more High Spitters. I killed all of his High Stingers since he was not really micromanaging too well here. Now I will build a second tower, and the only chance he would really have in this situation is to have the Avengers, but he made the mistake of making Vile Cocoon first instead of the Chamber of the Avenger, because if he did that instead, he would already be able to start producing Avengers and actually maybe push me back, destroy the towers really easily. Now he doesn't really have an answer for this. I have much more units. I also have the tower here shooting his hive, and also he has a tower there, so I cannot really push here, but as you can see, I'm trying to commit to it as much as possible, maybe even destroy his production buildings. I see this Chamber of the Avengers, so I'm aware of that, but I just keep producing more and more High Spitters. We still have full resources, nothing is slowing down either of us, but I just have more units, I have stronger infrastructure here now, and I just need to destroy these production buildings. Then he won't be able to make too many High Spitters, he'll just have one hive. As you can see, I'm also trying to really well micromanage here. As you can see, basically all of them are at 50% HP. If I did really poor micromanagement, I would have half of my army instead, and that would be maybe like 80%, so this was definitely done really well. I maintain a really decent amount of the High Spitters, and now I just went for the tower, killed it, and now I will destroy the rest. He also sent his Harvester here, and now of course it's GG. This was really clearly and well executed. Folsson saying that he's not good at 1v1s, I think he's doing pretty well. He just didn't really respond in the situation the best way possible. As I said, he should have went for Avengers, but to be honest, I also probably should have went for Avengers. I was just spamming spamming new summoners and high spitters from free hives. But if I made Avengers, it would definitely be much safer option. But fortunately, this worked. Of course, now I'm commentating it from the perspective of a spectator. But when you are playing the game, you of course have different thoughts. You don't see everything. You are trying to come up with solutions to the situation that you see. Your opponent also doesn't see everything. So he didn't know that I don't have expansion. He didn't know that I don't have Soul's Trap and I don't want to go for Avengers or maybe flying units. He didn't know anything, so he also didn't know how to respond accordingly. So we both didn't play perfectly, but we both kinda decided how to react to that situation. That's what you need to do. You will never learn to play every single situation perfectly, but you can always try to learn how to play decently and actually come up with a solution how to win in that situation. So if you take a look at the results, you can see that units 45 kills, 20 losses, which is definitely nice, more than double of the kill ratio. And largest army actually pretty similar. He was making quite lots of hive stingers. I then transferred basically to only hive spitters because hive stingers wouldn't really help me between the buildings there and also against the towers. And yeah, experience also really nice, so I probably had already maybe even level 2 hive spitters. And here you have the buildings. Even though I built some towers in his town, he still had much more buildings because he was going for that Vile Cocoon, Soul's Trap, and also Chamber of the Avenger and Vengeance Halls. So definitely much more upgrades here. We actually, sorry, not upgrades, buildings. We actually both had 2 upgrades researched. We saw that fast reflexes for damage for my hive spitters, and then I either went for one more upgrade for damage or one upgrade for armor. He probably had something really similar, so it was really balanced in terms of this. And then we have the resources. Just in the end, I probably gathered a little bit more because I killed his harvesters, but overall we had basically the same resources. As you can see, he has once again less gems. We also saw this in the previous game, even though he had expansion there. Now he didn't, but he still had less gems, so maybe he's just using one harvester on gems mine or something. I'm not sure, but he should probably work on this from what I see, even though he still didn't spend all the gems. This is definitely something you don't really want to do. And wood was basically the same. I spent a little bit more, but of course he was making hive stingers that cost only gold. I was making also hive spitters mostly that cost also wood, so this is probably the reason that I spent a little bit more wood than he did. But yeah, definitely nice game. Once again, 13 minutes, which is the average, I would say. Yeah, it's usually around 15 minutes in these 1v1s, but maybe we'll also have some longer games. We'll see. Next time we'll take a look at the third game with Folsson. 4th replay overall. We already saw all the races. We saw multiple different strategies, so doesn't really matter what we will see there. It's just best for you to see as many games as possible, trying to learn from them, not just from what you see, but also what I'm saying here, what you can see on both sides. Of course, even if I win the game, the enemy can also do some really nice moves and strategies, so you can always learn from that as well. So it's always nice to see as many games as possible and try to pick up some strategies that you can then implement into your own games. So yeah, next time we'll take a look at the next replay, and thanks for watching and take care, guys.